Nadia. How are you today? Thank you again for accepting the invitation to join this project. How's everything going?
Oh, everything is going amazing. Thank you, Rafael, for giving a chance to talk about my home place, my home country, and to let people know more about Kazakhstan.
Absolutely. Very exciting. I'm eager to learn about Kazakhstan as well, the cultural communication aspects. The project is focused for the people watching this for the first time. The idea of this project is to invite international experts and professionals like Nadia, and I will pronounce your name Nadia, correct? It might be easier. And the idea is to invite professionals from all over the world to talk a little bit about the cultural and communication aspects of doing the business there. We're not getting into technical issues. And it's very interesting. Kazakhstan, perhaps a lot of people haven't been there, and it's an interesting country, and it'll be really exciting to hear your expertise, your insights about the cultural aspects. So, as I've done with the other interviewees, we have 7 questions we ask everyone. And the first question, Nadia, is just in general to tell us more about you and what kind of work that you do, please.
No, of course, Rafael. Also, I wanted to a little bit add something about Kazakhstan. I need to say that more and more I can see that more and more businesses, even like in the sphere of entertainment, in the sphere of trade, is really coming to Kazakhstan because our market, I mean, because it's a lot of young people and people ready to pay. Like really, and that's what attracts and make an economical boom in the sphere of construction too. And I can tell you, I was very surprised when I returned back from Brazil. And in Kazakhstan, we've been opened actually a Brazilian churrascaria with a real Brazilian staff and everything. It's like, it's somewhere nowhere. It's so far from Brazil. And it's still like we are ready to invite other businesses to come in and to provide some services to our people and to business inside Kazakhstan. So that can be probably interesting for somebody who is looking at that specific area of opening some business. So my name is Nadezhda Sayenko. I was born and raised in the city Almaty, which translated as like city of apples, in Kazakhstan. And my sphere and my background is all based in finance. And right now I'm mostly working with the projects internationally. And one of my like big project right now is an international company, Kaizen Electric. Kaizen Electric is a company who basically manufacturing, producing, developing, and selling products in the signage-led signage solutions. And it's like very niche product, but at the same time, like it's have a huge market, and the company basically have the large experience in that. And our staff is like around 20 years of experience in all this. And another thing that I would say about the company, what is interesting about that business model, and which is actually match a little bit with your sessions in YouTube. I mean, the company choose the model to develop its business through local partners. So, and we opening every 3 months as we open new location all around Europe and expanding quickly like that with our solutions and our products. And these local branches and units that we have, it's usually a local person or like a businessman who has his business or who interested about open some kind of new business and looking for a sustainable product with a company with a history, with respect and everything, and they're ready to like build this together with us. So we are like sort of a platform manufacturer and seller of the goods which give other people to sort of build their business inside our business. And I'm responsible for the managing operational part, finance part of that business, like all globally in all the location that we have in the 20 countries in Europe, and also now we develop in Middle East and China.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for the update. Well, two things I picked up on. First of all, I didn't know this immense growth in the market in Kazakhstan, it being attractive to receive investment and open for business, so to speak. So that's very interesting for people who are watching, might be interested in approaching and looking for opportunities in Kazakhstan. And second, it shows that you are a very international professional. So that's great because you have this international mindset and you can understand what the international business people who are interested in going to Kazakhstan think a little bit and how they think. So thanks for this explanation. Thank you, Nadia. Going for the second question, what are some of the things that you recommend people to do or say when they first meet or speak with someone who they might be interested in doing a project or business opportunity together in Kazakhstan, and what also should they not say or as well. So the idea is really to how to break the ice when you first encounter a local partner or potential client in Kazakhstan.
Mhm. Yes, no, I think first thing that you really need to know about Kazakhstan, and which we learn from elementary school, Kazakhstan is the country of 100 nations, which means that when you go to do business in Kazakhstan, you can meet actually people with different heritage. It can be Koreans, it can be Uyghurs, it can be Kazakhs, it can be Russians, Ukrainians, all nations possible. So I would say the first thing that you really need to do when you go to like a meeting with somebody partner, you need to do the research of the person whom you're going to meet with. So like look at the LinkedIn, check what kind of companies you follow, what kinds of information you can get from like open resources, professional resources about that person. It's going to help you really to build the connection at the beginning, and it also help you to understand which probably language to speak. Because in Kazakhstan, we have two languages, like it's Kazakh and Russian, both of them used. But the thing is that some of people can like understand Kazakh, but not using it as a main language of communication. Others can use both and vice versa, you know, it can really depend. So if you will look sort of on the person, will understand what is preferably for like speaking with him, it will really help you a lot. A second thing I would say, it will be important to be in the meeting in time, like from your side. Like another side can be late, it can be different situation, but you need to be there in time, because it can be considered like a little bit, you know, those like sort of disrespect in that situation. So like try to be really in time. And another thing I would say, try to make this meeting face to face, like not go like into via meeting or something. To build business in Kazakhstan, it's more important to go there and to meet personally with somebody. It will give you trust at the beginning, and it can help you to move relationship quicker than you can do it, for example, like via online or something like that. And this is like, I would say, the basics, which are like how to start. And of course, if you talk about like another, like I would say, cultural moment, is when you speak with Kazakh people, they can be sometimes strict. Like people in our side of the world is general very strict and rather formal in the beginning. So you need to break the ice, and you shouldn't go informal right away, because it really can be considered a little bit in a wrong way. So better for you to see when person will go informal. If you really feel like informal manner is better for you, wait when another side will go more informal, and then like following that lead. But usually like something like learn a couple of basic phrases in some kind of language, say something about or bring a little gift like a chocolate or something very small from your side, and like show them that you're ready to share your culture. That's going to be something that really can help you out in like breaking some ice when you just start the communication with that person from that side of the world.
Oh, fantastic! Very rich insights. Absolutely. Thanks for all this explanation. I think a lot of people are gonna take notes of these suggestions. Perfect. Thank you, Nadia. The third question is a little bit similar, but we recognize that it is important to have a deeper cultural understanding of the local place when you're doing business there. What are some of the cultural aspects that might be considered when doing business in Kazakhstan? You mentioned a little bit of it, but is there anything else that you need to consider culturally when you're going to be doing business in Kazakhstan?
You know, I would say, like, first of all, you need to understand that, like, I will tell like a couple of them. So definitely you need to understand culture and etiquette there, like not being late, all this type of things. You need to understand that you need to build personal relationship with the person with whom you plan to have long-term relationship. So personal part is important, but it will take time for you. Another thing that, for example, you have some kind of communication and you're waiting for the result. Don't wait right away result. Kazakh people need to time to think about making any decision. So probably like you will not understand after the meeting, oh my God, did I get this deal or not getting this deal? And at the end of the day, it's can be you get this deal, but the person needs like 2 or 3 weeks to think about whether he will go. They're very accurate about decision making in general, people from my country. And another thing I would say, you need to know like really when you go to speak about business, you need to know details. Like you need to know exact numbers, everything, you need to present something. If you wanted to do business, do cooperation, you need to have a plan. So you will need to come there with an exact concrete offer about something. And of course, it's going to be much better for you if you plan to do business in Kazakhstan, get like some kind of like legal consultation, because it can be complex. The laws and everything in other countries can be complex. So when you will be in the meeting, it's definitely better for you to understand how you're going to do your business there, from what side, how it's going to be. And I would say the last thing probably I would really advise people from my side of the world, from Kazakhstan, we are having like a sort of more indirect communication ways. So what I mean, you need to read between the lines. Like you need to see how the person behave, what kind of moves it make, where it look, like how faces change, what like this all sort of unverbal things you really need to pay attention to, because they can show you a lot how to like build your discussion in the way how you want it, like what kind of result you wanted to achieve. So that's important, and you need to know that, because sometimes we can't really how we behave is not sometimes 100% what we really think, because a lot of people are just polite and everything, but their manners will show you out what is going on.
No, that's great, Nadia. Just to remind everybody, relationship building takes time to build trust. Be patient after the meetings. So wait for their decisions. It might take a little longer than you might be used to in your country as a foreign business person, and read between the lines. And so going back to one thing you mentioned before was perhaps work with a local partner, have someone local to join you in the meetings to guide you with these indirect codes, so to speak. So that's very, very helpful. Thank you, Nadia. Very, very clear. The fourth question, if someone does not speak Kazakh or perhaps Russian, because you mentioned the two languages, and I guess the business person has to do research who they're going to meet, so they know what language perhaps that they're going to be, the local person speaks. So then, if they do not speak Kazakh or Russian, what do you suggest a foreigner be able to do to communicate more successfully with the locals and to be able to do business there? What can they do if they don't speak Kazakh or Russian?
Mhm. In this case, I think it's really depend on the meeting. I mean, what kind of meeting you have. Of course, if you have a meeting with the higher authorities, like governmental authorities, depends on what like project you have there, right? Or you have like a casual meeting with a small business there, it's going to be different. With authorities, you probably really need to find an interpreter, like somebody who will help you out in that situation, or some kind of local representative for your, like, I don't know, your friend, or like a business partner, or somebody who will help you out in that situation. If it's going to be more like a small business, medium business sort of meeting, in this case, it's better for you to have to have local with you. Somebody whom you know definitely will give you a giant advantage, because he will understand the culture, and you being introduced by somebody else will give you a lead in that situation, and he will help you out. But also, like if it's sort of more casual, definitely like an app, translation app can be used. And also in both of the meetings, prepare materials in the local languages. Like prepare like presentation or something that is going to be in local language. So it will really help you out. And if you will miss something, you'll be able to go and like to show somewhere. So presentation materials will be important. And of course, in Kazakhstan, I need to say that English is pretty common. I mean, a lot of young people, specifically in a large cities, they speak English, but it's better never to expect that everybody will be able to communicate English with you, but it's very common. I mean, people will be able to communicate even in basics in Kazakhstan, because at schools, most of the schools, we have three languages. English is one of them, and depends on the type of the school or university, it's less or more intense. So people will be able to understand it.
No, it's great, and you're an example. Your English is very good, actually. And it sounds very very common, basic, right? The idea of taking your material in the local language. But I have seen many examples of businesses going to new markets and they don't translate, don't prepare the material. So it's very important for everybody to remember, if you're going to a new market, Kazakhstan included, prepare the material in the local language. Seems basic, but most people don't do this. So very important
Yes.
point. Thank you again, Nadia. The fifth question, to get better results in visibility or sales, what are your recommendations, the most effective way to do marketing of your products and services in Kazakhstan? And this question is a little bit more related to how do you communicate with the local audience, consumers, marketing channels that are more common used in Kazakhstan, for example.
Mhm. I would say in this situation, it's also going to be probably two ways. Depends what kind of business you are building, if it's B2C or B2B. If it's B2C business, definitely it's like social medias will help you a lot because most of our people using Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and right now less often, I would say Vkontakte. It's something like Facebook, but local in the territory of post-Soviet countries. We have that service, but not a lot there, like real advertisement right now, but still some people using it. It depends on your target audience. And if you're going to B2B, in this case, definitely like also social media will help you, like such of channels like Instagram and Facebook mostly, and YouTube, of course, it also can help you. And I would say what else could be a good source is bloggers. Like a lot of our people really trust the leaders of opinions in the region. For example, if you can find such a person in your specific industry and like buy some kind of advertisements, it's going to help you to audience to understand you and like to be more open to you. And if you use, for example, like any SEO, like targeting or something like that, in this case, just don't forget to like put the settings in the local language. It's really like a mistake that a lot of people doing when they go into those markets. Settings like put in English and you will not find enough audience in that case. I would say if also it's going to be B2B, you can really use events and meetings, like it can be conferences, it can be professional meetings, and Kazakhstan is a very good place for that because actually, like I would say, environment of entrepreneur environment in general, like professional events, is very typical there. So you really can go there, meet people, and these people can introduce you to the people you probably will meet in future. So it's very easy way to build long-term contacts. So if you have some industry and you know that something like that will happen there, you can definitely go. And I can tell you, like also you can like use, for example, like a targeting, yes, for a specific area or specific meetings or something like that to really grab an audience. So that's basically, I think this is the main ways how you can use it.
No, great, and it ties into what you mentioned. Going to these events is where you build a relationship and the trust, and that's how people like to do the business there as well. So, fantastic, great tips. Thank you so much. The sixth question is more related to the empathy building, right? Connecting with the locals. So, if a business partner in Kazakhstan wants to get to know you better and invites you to a local coffee or tea place, a restaurant, or even a virtual happy hour via Zoom or so forth, what kinds of topics do people in Kazakhstan like to talk about? That's not business related. The idea is to build empathy and connection with the locals. What do you like to talk about in these kind of environments?
I would say people are easy in that part. Of course, not talk about politics, economy, problems, bad news, like all this list of things that negative. Don't talk about negative things. Definitely more talk about positive. For example, you can talk about cuisine. Like you can talk about like different food, what to try, and that will make a connection. Like you can share some ideas or something. You can talk about travel, your travel tips abroad, about from your like place or like you travel somewhere else. Also, you can talk about landscape, nature. Kazakh people love to talk about this because our nature is really beautiful, and we like to share what you could see in Kazakhstan, and would like to share to get some tips of what to see, like in nature in some other countries. It's also like a great thing. We're interested about sports, like cinema, everything. All these international things will be like pretty open. Music, of course, but I mean, it's really pretty easy because in Kazakhstan, such an environment of so many cultures, we are very open-minded in general. So we like to learn about other cultures. We like to share our own. We like to try new things. We like those experiences. So I mean, that's really easy. But the only thing I would say, don't try to not go really personal, like talking about family right away, because like families, this is like sort of more close. So that means that don't try to be informal in that part. So as soon as you are friends, definitely you can discuss such things. But in general, like try to like talk like about everything you really liked. And I think person will be open to like consume that information because of so many different nations there.
That's great. It's very complete. That's a big list for someone, that availability of different topics for them to talk about. And it's interesting, the cultural aspects, because I've been talking to other people in this project, other countries, and they say talk about family first because that's the cultural connection. So it's very interesting that it is different and unique in every country. So thanks for that. It's good to take notes and prepare ourselves when we meet with locals. Thank you, Nadia. The last question, the seventh question: what one word should everyone learn to say in Kazakh, and why? Or Russian also, if you wanna add, please.
I think it should be the main magic word. We called it magic word, which can open a lot of clues for you. And this word is basically thank you. Like, thank you, I think it's the way to show respect, the way to show like your gratitude about something. And if you learn this word in both of the languages, I would say people will smile to you each time they will see that they will hear how you say it. So this thank you will be Rahmet in Kazakh and Spasiba in Russian.
Well, you have to write that down for me, please. Right? If you write that, both
Of
of them,
course.
I want to include that in the written summary. But I agree with you. I think thank you is an important word in any language, and you just reinforced that. So thank you. We'll definitely take note, but definitely send that in writing. I don't want to write anything wrong.
Okay, well,
Thank you. No, Nadia, this ended the interview. I could go on and for hours. This is really interesting. It's a country that I have not been to, so I definitely want to go visit. I hope everybody also learned a lot through this quick interview we had, Nadia. I will put her contact information, everything in the summary of LinkedIn if you want to get in touch with Nadia, just to get to know more about Kazakhstan or also to learn more about the work she does and any professional links, networking that you want to do. So thank you again, Nadia, for sharing your insights, recommendations, and experiences. I really hope this also benefits you. And we are very glad that you were able to join us in this project. Any final comments?
and I wanted to just to wish you good luck in the new markets, expand your business, like find local partners and just be open-minded and make more people to see your product and services all over the world. That's it.
Thank you. Spasiba. I can't say the other word yet, but spasiba.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nadia. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.